na ahonde wo ho de
me pa so nyankopon ni ade ni ye yeah me ho ye pa
na MPP inside Karachi etisen.
oh me that say me pa so Karachi Nchumbu Karachi 3
Yes,
you were Karachi West
yeah.
which is Karachi Township
okay,
and you were Karachi East which is Dambai,
yes,
currently the Oti regional capital,
yes,
and you were Karachi Nchumbu which is Chinderi me jina homa Karachi Nchumbu na mbeti maka say MPP were Karachi Nchumbu de bia nyina na enyini yanya ndru mpempensu bi a yabubeto ye yemedie nanso say if you look at our growth pattern megidi say we are on the right course now bibia nso ekoyi enti metumaka for Karachi Nchumbu MPP there we are as vibrant as anyone could think of and adwuma no nso yeguso ayeye me that say
enti for omo tie me have it. James Amenidi Nkomoye was the candidate for the MPP in 2024 general elections, and Omokoya and Kwankosi. But let's look at it from this point. The chairman, the secretary, the youth organizer, women organizer in the constituency. She say, Makoko two flag bearership are yes. You played a role in the constituency.
Definitely.
Why did you take that route? I will take it.
Yeah, a route as in the presidential.
Yes, the presidential election.
Primaries.
You took a part.
Yes, it's true.
Why that?
It's true because Mijidi say, party bia ana ajumaku bia yewo yani swadi hu anania eda yanim. MPP, all we need is to restore power from the NDC. And bibia nso ewo kwan a ye fa so eye and say ade no mpo ewo kwan mienu ana kwan miensa wo hwe ne eye tia enti MPP mu no because say presidential primaries na ye koye no ewo mu say ye mpanyimfo a omugina ye ni nyina omumu bia ba ye betimi anya be hwan na oba ebeye tia amaye ene ye His Excellency, the former Vice President, Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Until on an Karachi Nchumbu for the Yajina Muyi pa Amano. I entrese ye time will be an obi end me, but ye shall see the end and a quantia emaye. And intin I to abanu massively. A honor men so margin a warrior yeni, wonga owa siano, a casaya bibia akoye. Near meeting.
People say, wo Oshe, the last prime minister now call you now. The chunk of the delegates na etumao.
Yes.
Until you speaking to them, influence them in that regard for them to vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, for those who never voted for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, will not be at peace with you. They think that no, Anka will be the parliamentary candidate, even those who ain't win, you could have stayed neutral and allow them to make decision based on the aspirant who do not catch them. Why do you have to go on the ground, talk to them and convince them, say, this is where I want you guys to go?
Yeah, opening me that sepa. What we say, and then do no Emma or my dream enco intra-party contest, any inter-party contest. A ban intra-party contester. A idea you can say you fear bakumu encommodie. And an American a can be say. Se wo ye wade a wo hwe se kwan ben ene be yetia ama opanyin pa cho wo firi kwabenya ha e kodome a wo betimi afa kwantia anase bia wo ko St John's a
yes
wo du dome a wo betimi akọ wanim straight na wa pie St John's se wo du dome nso a wo betimi afa Kisama village akọfa Timota aba St John's ni nyina no wo beko de ahin na eyetia nti ye call grounds ni ye mpanyifo no ko kasa ye no ye nkasa no abufu so even though obia e wo na adwen de be kwan a ye fa so a ebeboa ye ni nti obia woto ma His Excellency Bawumia obia wanto amma no sesi amenu kasa ide ya ma obia ate ase se ye nyina ya beye baako etio enchire enko ensa enkochire no chire na ye nhwe na ye nyina ye mbom ye adwumaden nti me gidi say ebia ebe ma obi agina so di otan bi ama me de and the free said the me ankasa mesi a conduct me ho because obi a wan supported by Wumi Ampo and there were MPP ni ofre me a na was say me ne ne ka no ye ka nti me gye this is anti ase no ye will be and the idea was a politician bi aso enya
but in that constituency no na baby na wo gina no was that where the chairman, the general secretary, the constituency executive no munyina e one side, and I said there were sections of people who were on different parts.
I say the largest group ever baby and me gina. In fact,
including the chairman.
In 2023, Karachi Nchumburu was among the best 3 constituencies who voted massively for Bawumia. It was 96%.
Okay.
Until 2023 Mpono, percentage is very high. Only how competitive this 2026 one was. The benchmark as a year do one, His Excellency,
including the chairman and
president, including the chairman.
Okay.
And most of Mate magazine nipa mienumi and Sabi Pena or more agent fufro. But se sia minu kasa de omu nyina nso ate asese. Obi e was say ye di no koji 2 million. Ye nyina will rally behind him. Yes.
Who fortunes in the constituency in the last elections? In fact, for you to become the candidate for the constituency, na vote margins net saying, and looking at your performance, would you say you've marginally increased the chances of the MPP in the constituency, and now say you think that somebody else should come and do something better than?
Okay, open you made that sepa. Asemia ubisa we share the fortunes of MPP in 2024 elections. Betmaka se Ghana ha yeti MPP nyina no aturenchen biasa ento yeda. 2024 it was a national tsunami for the party. Nti babi bebre no ano nyama ankoyiye. But say we share the way me see me campaign a conducting me ho any senior yesi eboa those on grounds ni amana make me say despite the propaganda na NDC for use only say 2024 they only use the propaganda pa so say one kasa wuni enti ama eniama anse da ankoyiye ama yesa but looking at the vote margin any senior comfort anu omo ho there 2028 definitely I'm going to restage Mekobi.
Oh
yes.
You will stand in for the MPP in 2028. Karachi Nchumburu.
Now, Mijidi say mistakes are dodono ayeno. This time, Omahu, Nukreno adadi. And it is all over the country. It is all over the country. Nukreno adadi. In Jupiter Ujina 2024 election also. Edi bu aten anadi hwese obi betima wina na obi ntimi wina nka 2028 election no kra de nka MPP for yenja ye nkokra but ye gidi say bibi ene to yen e wo 2024 niama bi anko yiye wo 2024 ye dada bi no mo that is the bigger tax that we have to do and that is what exactly we are doing nti bedu 2027 e de na me gidi say obi a ate no ho ase 2028 the number of CISA MPP ebe wini ewo Ghana ano obi abe surprise.
But looking at you specific in the Karachi Nchumburu constituency, fortunes net saying in the just past elections,
it went very well. Because we share dynamics now ewo Karachi Nchumburu.
And traditionally that seat in particular.
Traditionally we've never won that seat. We have never won that seat.
Yes.
But so we share your growth now, even though 2024 no, your sound so echo from Kakra.
Okay. And because of the general
euphoria. I know it's not peculiar to Karachi Nchumburu.
Other constituencies
near there. It's not peculiar at all. Say, say Udi Achikura, Ubetimaka say. Then we are good to go because here the margin no crowd na eswa kakra na eswa nti say we share ye ejumadin you know say we check some of the constituencies in Accra ha we win by 5,000 10,000 in 2020 2024 you lose it.
Yes, To say Osla, the constituency for example.
Yes, indeed, so we share margin now, a work right into Burundi. Let us say, Ajuma Kumabi, when we get the right resources and people who believe in our ideas and competence, we'll be able to be.
The margin between who and the NDC person,
okay, they gazetted 95 polling stations.
Okay.
Instead of 97.
95 polling stations.
Yes, instead of 97. Because now polling station me no be over Niama Ankoi.
Okay. Until more year no free.
Yes, a year no free.
Okay.
Until the difference was 4,000.
4,000.
Yes, the difference was 4,000.
Then it is very slim.
Yes, but there's a 97 and Ankeka it would have been about 3,700 or so.
Those places now stronghold.
Yes, and when say election there, if you lose by 4,000, you need only 2,000 votes.
Yes.
Because when you sweep from your opponent camp, you don't need all the 4,000.
Yes.
When you have 2,000 per count, the pendulum will swing. Yes. Yes, until we can win.
So you are optimistic, say in 2024. Yeah. But before you even jump to become the parliamentary candidate for the party, you need to go through the internal primaries.
Yes, internal primaries.
And the party at the timetable when you are even supposed to start the delegates, list from the polling station all the way to the national level. Obian unity so person contest one.
When you say politics in here, but in some baby. And I say, a Tom Rebina say, Upasa would be a summer. One shall I be sure Garia go. Yet a binuma or Mupasa or Mubra. Ubia Cram bar and your fe. Politics is their sanity because me
to also be back.
Men so me contest will be
okay.
And I am Kupanda room and me near. It is a Ubi bar and no any problem. Benny I have say, saying ye bay to reposition ourselves for victory. And I may worry, she must say. Me James Mamudu dear, so will be ampuna eba, Yanko Panda woman to make me a winnie. But so we short timetable now, you pay you for the 2 jar. What me who say it did not capture the parliamentary
process. Yes. Say a year from polling station all the way for national.
Let's say, so we need seats and now we need election. It's not so incumbent on you, the candidate. The party needs to form. If you have a stronger party, your chances of winning will be brighter. And she said, yet mean the right polling station executives, electoral area coordinators, constituency executives, regional executives, national executives are. Let us say party, you are forming and ready for victory to some good percentage. And then the candidate in over, you will have less to do. And me JD said, no, I'm paying for no share.
But I am asking that in relation to the fact that I was a Woody kind winning the primaries, as a parliamentary candidate, and when it comes to the polling station election, the area coordinators, any constituency now, you have an interest in that particular election,
Yes, but that interest should not supersede the general interest of the MPP. So obi a downfall now person be polling station executive. Now when you want me near a Jumani year, you don't worry yourself. After all, what we want to kick against is ABIA, NDC ni be a polling station executive. Now ejina so odi yensem ato abonte na anko boaye. But MPP ni bia yeji di say e fatano obetimi aye no. En fa won si onipa no ye Kofi Anayawa na boadu. So we are MPP near, you are good to go. And to me, that need a strong interest as to why and a bear and why not any. But interest, I mean, when you say the right people should be elected at the right levels or at the various levels. And you party new fortunes, ever cost 3 years. Interest, I mean, when you
the other thing, I said, Obi a obe contested. Because una who contested the last one until una we the leader now. Obi obe contested Obi would come out the back of the first set. When you were given the opportunity to lead the party in the constituency, uti or move vote so. So this will be the line of campaigning to the delegates, how do you convince the delegate to understand, say, it is not your doing and a man vote in the because you led, your face was on the ballot paper.
Open me that sepa. And then I make a BB say no parliamentary candidate goes into election alone. You are going with your party. Until the more chances the party has, the more your chances too. And to share Kratin Chumbru, 2016 result, 2020 result, and no party ni win candidate ni na lose. But 2024, no, me me party no ni na lose here. And I said, vote a me nya aye krano is in excess of about 3,000 to 4,000 from near His Excellency Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia enyaye. Let's say me krano ma pulling more esene the presidential candidate. And it's Ajumadia my ewo grounds. And he say you see you better compare you say won't mean compare results without looking at what the general atmosphere was. The general atmosphere is very, very important. And I make say near 2024 no will be kurana na nka wansha na nka result no kwa udi wani tumwa won't mean hwe. But akwa to say yeah bi no ya adwumade ntina ama bibi saba. And as we 2020 election so now independent candidate ewu.
Okay. Independent candidate no free Mumbo Campo ana.
Yes, free oko MPP primaries and
Olusu yeah.
What I say?
Okay.
Free MPP I camp and Olusu yeah.
Okay.
Nti ama MPP for na omum pe the then candidate no. To my independent candidate no.
Okay.
But me time no ye hon say your tribal issues kakra. Nti akoye to say obi a bia me tribe nti on to ma me no. There was no independent candidate wakoto ama NDC candidate na woni ne the same tribe. Nti nanka 2024 kra ya independent candidate bi ananka MPP for now because of tribe ni other things no mu to ma independent candidate na ebi anka me wini ye. But instead of because who the independent candidate vote no e can NDC candidate no one. Let's just say nanka 2020 no the gap would have been close to 6,000. And also ya dey bia e kuntia because MPP mu ana election bia mu no benya nkromfo a omo beto aba on tribal lines any ehun keka ho. And also ye bibia e kuntia ye kakra. Ye nti ye behwe na ya toto niama yiye.
And all these dynamics play within your constituency.
Very well.
And we share the crashing tomorrow. Me share figures no ewa ha. Okay, so this is rather the general election. I mean, but dynamics I was here play ewa. Having known that there are chieftaincy issues or tribal issues are a war catching tomorrow. Every constituency has some dominant group of people. Or more. Where you come from, which people are the dominant group of people or more, and you come from the side that dominance, a war.
Yo, me pacho Kratin Chumburu, me describe Kratin Chumburu as a cosmopolitan area.
Okay.
Tribes on adults in ye pa. And she met my say, so sha, Mimi a Chumburu ni, I'm a Guan.
Okay.
Because in Chumburus we are part of the Guan family.
Yes.
Yes, into me a Guan. Osha, the majority of the people are concombers. Not majority in its entirety. But concomers would be about close to 35 to 40%.
Okay.
Now in Chumburun so will be about 30 to 35%. Then the other tribes comes in. Until the majority, the simple majority there, the Concomers are the majority.
Okay.
I mentioned me were multi-tribal and multi-religious background.
Okay.
That's that you could derive that from my name, James Mahmood.
Yes.
Until I relate with Muslims, and my mom is also an Ewe. Until me a Guan esanso Aigbeni.
Okay.
Yes, just that ya opportunity and severe people when say my uncles are before there. Answer number GMPP party adino. He say omuhu bibi a waye ama won. But unfortunately no manya kwan as GC and manya kwan as bibi and severe mo. But we share 2024 no, despite our laws, all polling stations all the Ewe polling stations, our vote margin has increased.
Okay.
Yes, all the Ewe polling stations.
Okay.
And yet, Kessie Bamsa, but are increasing. Most polling stations across the country, 2024 results are worse than 2020. But in Kratin Chumburu, for that matter, the Ewe polling stations, polling station be a new one. Now 2020 they are better than 2024 there. And after the elections, you knew aiding come. We been crowd all man back on border. Almost free and say mistake and on my. Until Brenu Dra, they will come on board. It is our family, Guan background, any Ewe background, with that of the Muslim background, Eddie Boma. Let's just say I am from a very stable background. A very stable background. Until we there. Concoma MPP vote no, we should be able to win. But na make us na tribal issues kakra wo ho, mega cases kakra wo ho a ebinom gina so de campaign say James Mahmood kra wo wini a obekwa kota na busianfo achi na ene ye nsem bia wonim NDC for propaganda and there will be a ahu no kra no. Nti ya to sanema no nyina etwene a 2024 after 2028 I will come back here and tell you that he congratulate me because I make kind of
Makwako. Yes. Mamish fa in the 2020 elections, parliamentary elections, no. A candidate a koye AF4 NDC, MPP, NDP, and independent candidate. No, independent candidate. No, Israel. Onya manumu 117. Dr. Inusa Abdul Nasiru
was an
independent. Okay, on 4,426 vote. Innocent. On a general Edima MPP on 12,404. And NDC, the current member of parliament, Solomon Kunyon, on 13,483. And this is 13,483. Osha 2024 now will be a candidate now. Two people and of course our elections now.
You were
three.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Data minya two.
That's okay.
Solomon Kunyon, the current member of parliament, 16,028, represent 57.27%. Unya Emmanuel 11,959, representing 42.73%. Ushe the previous elections, which was 12,000, would drop it from 12,000 to 11,000.
Very close, 11,900.
Yes, 11,959. And the fans say almost getting to 12,000. Compare on also the back numbers on The bigger question what drop your vote? You have lost some of the votes to the NDC. Even in the situation where there was an independent candidate, could I would win at 12,000. There was no independent candidate, but you still managed to drop our vote. Would the people read the inference and say, "A microphone no mumpe was one," and I say, ukase the whole your friend is saying tsunami see other constituencies." And Subekachi was say, well, even though the tsunami existed by a constituency, we were able to hold it and hold it firm. What would be the justification for the drop in the vote?
Openye me that sepa. And then I make a bibi chere say. We share 2024 independent na. MPP for do don't know anato.
And they are my independent candidate. But for the independent candidate, we would have won that seat in 2020.
Yes, to some extent.
Yes, we share the numbers in India because 4,000 to 12,000, we would have
To
16,000 plus.
Good. But in our case, in 2024, MPP for no one, they wouldn't vote for me, or couldn't vote for me. Did not have any neutral person to vote for.
Yes.
But voted for Kuyon.
Okay. Because of the tribal issues.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So what I say, voted for Kuyon. Inti nanka nipa 4,000 and 3,000 nanka mutuma Kuyon. And nanka independent candidate be kura or nanka mutuma na.
Probably Kuyon wouldn't have won the election.
He wouldn't have won the election. I don't know if we are a bit mathematical here.
I get.
Tina because some more grounds no money in AC here. In the 2024, like there should have been some independent candidate. So that for tribal reasons, should have voted for that independent candidate. Since say Omako Tuama me opponent.
No, okay. Even though they are MPP.
And he was checking most of the Konkoma polling stations now. But we were MPP vote, but we have vote to crack or social media. Maybe I told him.
Okay.
And you know, a vote now a free hako car no one. And then I must I win a buy.
But this is the tribal issue still persists, and I remember.
Yeah.
So if you still represent the people, now we'll go ahead. It will still persist. How do you surmount?
The issue is a bit sensitive. And I'm person me call into it. As of 2024, Krana Yabetu Aba. Now in Chumburu, I him for Bayer 3 at that form. I am made that case. And me opponent no on now man some more catch a concoma for ne say. So me we near. Naga Kotama Bush and fortunately sorry. Concoma for so what I say. A good tiami.
Okay.
But me no kasa ikwa ya sie won obi a uni se enya no kore. So 2028 sasam no wudi ba enye emfa. So what I say the campaign say ebia Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia onwini MPP atwa 8 years nti omo beko nti ukotuma James Mahmoud kura na I president no be NDC president nti men ha wo ho eno nso ekutiae. Secondly, so we share margin of loss now. BBTC Karachi East 2020 we lost by 522 in Karachi East. 2024 we lost by 7,000. Karachi we lost by 319 or so. Karachi West. 2024 we lost by more than 3,000. So what I say. And this also we checking margin of voter lost her. And this I would take that in Jumburu Kwa won't show any Shababia. But so also but show any Ashababia, you give credit to James Mahmoud in Karachi Jumbo. Yes.
As I'm doing on the Karachi issue now, we dive into our topics for the today, what is the real issues of the people of Karachi in Chumuru today, for which Obama was a member of parliament? You will see to it that they have solutions to those issues.
Open me that sepa. Me Canada Mijinaso part the current MP Achom. The major issue has to do with electricity.
Karachi in Chumuru Ninkania.
Karachi in Chumuru free Dambai. You know we share boundary with Karachi East. Into Ucha Dambai in Siunanu ura Karachi in Chumuru. From Dodwekope through to Burai. Any electricity. Now, me communities are every 20. Light omu nibi. Me parliamentary candidate, you know, my influence as a parliamentary candidate. Now me near Hondia, it say be a MP. But me yama, babi ti si jato chayo. Ya fixing meters, aye bibia krama, ye momu street box kra, omu yusu. But senior, ye beya ebia, omu be try to mukra krano. And I am to me anye. But this is close to 2 years. nya light no nti mbesre honorable Kuyon says our problem wey there manumpo entwem me I don't want to meet that problem in 2028 body and solve it because me my year adwuma no do to no aman and there's no so a board member of ECG
yes.
so idea be was say we should be able to leverage on na why bibisa amon na wo hwe ne answer to so na nsio Kratin Chumbru nsia twa ye ho ahia baby wo be fa bia wo be hia nsio just towards the north alone
yes
but in Sukom wo pe bia Sukom wo pa Kratin Chumbru me tubo ho su bebre matimi aye bi ebi nso wo ho amantimi anye enti senyame boa na 2028 me ba mbe ensure say nsuo asem enye problem emmaye na na esa to so Kratin Chumbru me pe say obi adwen kon ho no ene scholarship one say ye hono sebi ye sika nsem anko ani musa
more farming
most of our youth no you will either become a teacher or a nurse and I want to ya just a police ni ehun ekeka ho but say bia obenya kwan akọ university na bia wa be bank manager and wa be ya adwuma or office papa bi ye ni bi kura because onipa no sha obekọ university akutua school fees na ebia owia oba betena onya adwuma anye de the person prefer to be a teacher on the cool side nti ya be hwe say scholarship schemes I get fund in ya ekeka ho no me ba me hwa ma obia talent na wo pe one engineer e wo Kratin Chumbru kra wonya enye engineer bebre njuma no bebre wonya kra nya say bia ebi wo ho but in limited number ebi ni ho kra when we continue on this trajectory mboaye nti ye niam bi a me ba mbehwe and many other things jadie for ebre loan scheme bibi nkete na ye dia so omo ase omo ai omo do irrigation farming say baby am simsi atwa ye ho ahia de say na nke ba no irrigation farming what say yetimi edimu akotene pa ba me kire o opemre wo tomatoes ba ko e wo Kratin Chumbru mpa wonya
ene
shasia
yes one of the issues you face over the years we issue if you honor but God being so good no Professor Mos Mahama time yetimi solve the water issue ye ban akwan we have issues with our inner roads okay but I can tell you for a fact say for the major roads now the main roads no
yes
ankasane there
yeah I fix it
bebre na during Mahama the first term in office he made sure that most of those roads were done. For instance, so far aviation to Ogbojo to American House, it was during Mahama time and that road was actually constructed. So far from Third Gate at the bar school junction, it was during Mahama time and of fixes our road, you know. Over from school junction at the core Adringano, it was Mahama time and or yes our quine. Over from school junction at the as the alcohol and rooms and talk, it was actually a phase 2 of what Mahama has started. And the previous government who came just to be a watchman for the project to be completed. Into Ebana Aquine in Adenta, the NDC government over the years have been very helpful and shown commitment to the people of Adenta. We've been in opposition for 8 years. We came to power. We are now in the second year. We all not expect to say within this short period, no, all the inner rules in Adenta will be fixed. But I can tell you one interesting thing. And Honorable Mohammed Ademu Ramadan, the commitment our chair Adenta in terms of rules, no, ABB. Offer from Honorable Ramadan, if you need Eddie Bat said the Auba Lakeside Community 1. As I speak to you, they are there. As I speak to you, workers are there patching and making sure say they fix the roads. From there, also at the fact baby how can I say from Chicken Man Pizza Man, Short Filling Station Community 1.
Yes.
At the qua we see fairly say highways quite as well. As I talk to you right now, no, there is a commitment to make sure that road is being fixed. And recently
the commitment near again.
Commitment near then said the assembly is in touch with the MP muye to year to make sure that road is fixed. As I talked to you, said
but on senior sa road ne tie no o discerni sa road na say o ko wremu ewo your friends Lakeside Estate baby ensure no bridge no wona sa kwan no nyina poto ema last year kura ko fansem bi bae a nkrofo ye o majuza nkomo ko demonstration.
No, I have not denied the fact that road a issue, but also don't forget that we had a government in power for 8 years. One young hushi.
But they will tell you, say,
yes.
For them, it is the member of parliament. So within the 8 years now, or more opposition, he was still a member of parliament.
I agree with them, say, MP, and a war. But we shouldn't also forget that we've always put aside the fact, say, the MP doesn't directly do roads.
He lobbied for
the road to be done. But this is an MP that his party was not in power. It is recently that NDC came to power, just about less than 2 years. Until the MP is pushing. That's why I've told you that he has started from somewhere. Where I just told you from the MP's area, the back community one, it's not far from where we are talking about. So hopefully, that place will also be done. The MP himself stood in Parliament, spoke about it, and even drew the attention of the road minister to that part of Lakeside, so I can assure you that the MP that I know, Honorable Mohammed Adamu Ramadan, will make sure that road will be fixed. It's something that it worries a lot of people. Even me, I normally use that route. You understand? But Honorable Ramadan has shown commitment. He has started from somewhere, and I believe that before the NDC first term in government, that road will be fixed and to be good for the people of Adenta to enjoy.
Say, Ozombe Fisio, Ozomon Fisio. You see, Ube channel with the communication officer area. Adenta constituency. More problem. Adenta constituency, I recall, last year, Ufa said, towards baby, ensure Gata Cassian. I recall ensure Toye Chief and Crawford Danso, including the current deputy CEO of Shippers Authority Nifie, SN Nikas Makumako 6. I recall that time you call and the people will complain and the year cry na MP no cry and it doesn't really order well.
MP, you can say Upe MP are very visible and accessible. Ever in the history of Adenta, he's the only MP or by the first term in office or setting up an office. I will be a who say office ni. I will staff one more Juma that you go there anytime you want to see the MP or you want to leave a message behind that. People are there to assist you. You and I know said the MP has a busy schedule. It's not all the time that you see the MP in person. But if the MP has an office that is working, like Honorable Ramadan has in Adenta, a lot of people have channeled their challenges and whatever issues they have through the office, and you got results. When you say that MP being accessible and I say or available to the people, it's not always about seeing him in person. Does he have an office that operates? Yes, he has an office. Does the office solve problems? Yes, it does. Until the MP is accessible. What I can say, Honorable Mohammed Adamu Ramadan, Omu Huni Biano, Nipano na on person we can create. Again, flood as na wo kan ye no. See, you can create. When people decide to build in waterways, okay? When people decide to build in waterways, you see that there's a big gutter here, and this is the gutter that it's only femwa kwa journey then you go and build houses and structures or misfit structures along that gutter now. When it rains, what do you think will happen? It will enter a room because you block the access way for the water. What did the make say? Inti sir, the same as you are then turn out more candidate. The MP, the MC have taken up the steps. Every now and then we are making sure say you got a slim. But also maybe to send an acro. TV3 on side. Uncle for see a day for one million now, quite winning now. You soon got an onion up to see. Into it's only twa a wrong will demonstrate. And when you do that, you are creating problems for yourself. What did they kind of say? In that is why the MP and then the MC are taking out the measure. Say all the time, gutters in him.
Okay.
They'll make sure say in so there will be the access for the water to flow. But yes, we are making sure say young could see quite. Now it's only be right the main family number 2 so. So basically that is the issue we have. But Honorable Mohammed Demu Ramadan, he's the only MP in Adenta as a person I work 2 times.
Okay.
What I say, and tells you that the people have actually seen his good work because you wouldn't be able to break that record as a first person to go twice.
My area topics today.
And then even quickly, even within the NDC party, he's the only person that one really primaries within the NDC party 3 times on a row. What did they make? Say? Well, we need first one, and he lost to FN saying Edu Asari. No, Papa is saying United Party. He lost to Boabia Samoa, and then he won against Boabia Samoa, and then he won again against Akosua Menu. So it should tell you that the man is doing something right. People of Adenta are not dumb to keep such a person, to keep him in office for all this while.
But I say, because issues relating to cocoa prices and then more cocoa prices. As we speak, there is a demonstration going on over the Western North region. It is all about this cocoa prices and then the president has the opportunity, and then he told the people, say, he is also a cocoa farmer, and he cut prices of cocoa also affecting him. People say the president should excuse us. It's the president. The cocoa farm or peskebi the wura the cocoa farm mukra ya obenya no at it just a beg and call for the finance minister or whoever, and it will be done. So for the president to tell us, oh, I'm also a cocoa farmer, the catchy price, it affects me, the president should give us a break.
Well, they are entitled to their opinions, and opinions are like noses. We are one idea, and you see the president. So, also a cocoa farmer. You and I knows very well. So he comes from a family where his father was even a rice farmer, and for as someone who's from the north, he's concerned about the plight of farmers because his father was a farmer. He himself is a farmer. It's not only cocoa farm that he has other farms. And what he's saying is really true. But the issue with cocoa prices, we have to face the reality. Okay, as we speak today, what is the price of cocoa in the international market? It has dropped to the lowest for about 2.5 years. This is the lowest we've ever had in the international market. A ton of cocoa now is going for about $2,300 per ton, which is the lowest we've ever had. You understand? If I'm going to sell maybe to idea or ton. Now say nipa na biko ton ama no. SCC no on to me ton biom for 1 CD, but better for 50 pesos. You don't also expect me say I can buy it from you at a certain price, and as I can buy it from you for 2 CDs, I will definitely have to make sure say I buy it from you at a price that I will not run at a loss. That is one thing. So prices of cocoa in the international market has dropped to $2,300 per ton, the lowest in the past 2.5 years. Again, NPP, they want to politicize the issue. These people are hypocrites. See, when prices of cocoa rose to the highest level in the international market, to about $12,000, $10,000, $11,000, $9,000 per ton, how much were they giving cocoa farmers? They gave them $3,100 per ton, which is about 30%.
30% of the price.
Of the price. I think you're supposed to give them about 70% if you're doing the arithmetics.
That is right.
You that you're complaining today, when the prices, you had the highest price in the international market for about $12,000, you get cocoa farmers $3,100. And today, the prices are low in the market to $2,300. And you're also giving cocoa farmers $2,500, and you're complaining.
Let's do the cocoa farmer arguments.
So who shortchanged Ghanaians? If you are looking at the arithmetic.
Looking at the cocoa farmer arguments, Obekachi will say, well, the NPP was giving us 30% of the value price. That 30% was given at 3,100. You are giving us 70% of the value price, and you are giving us 2,500. In between the 2,500 and 3,100,
no, but this is basic. If you had the international price, meaning that when you buy and you go and sell, you can sell it for at $12,000 per ton. You understand?
So you can give more.
You can give more. But here is the case. I find myself in a situation where if I buy from you, I can only sell it for 2,300 tons.
But
$200.
Come on, say, Obi Okofo dia wotie sisi a. Obi we cropon ebri or ye cocoa farmer. Ono no as a cocoa farmer on fani cocoa no enko US ana baby nkoton otoma cocoa krachi no Ghana. And it will suffice you to even know, say Ebia or no krano onim anything called world market price and ABB. All the cocoa farmer know, they say, oh no, when can you know, oh man, penny buy 3,100 or they call 3,600. Yeah, they say, yes, like just a woman who say, oh, now me back to school, tepa nursing, back so university. Until almost school fees no krane buasa kosura 3,100 no kura 600 no krano. I will finding it difficult. See a buono asat, how does that person pay their school fees? If that person faces you, no workasa, how do you convince the person to understand? Say, a world market price be na man a buono swati, knowing very well, so say, since cocoa session, a status here to cocoa, and ya reduce prices.
You see, we don't have to underestimate the intelligence of the cocoa farmer. That is clear. The impression should not be created, say, cocoa farmer, he doesn't know what is going on. These cocoa farmers also have children have been to school. Some of them have children, cousins or family members who have also been to school. So some of these issues have been explained to them. You understand? So it's not as if these people are so dumb, they don't know what's going on. They know. Because if I have been a cocoa farmer for so many years, and every now and then I sell cocoa, as time goes on, you come to understand how the whole thing works. Definitely. So they have some understanding of the issue. It is NPP that is trying to politicize the issue to create the impression as if the NDC government is insensitive to the plight of cocoa farmers. No. See, the issue with cocoa board is a very big issue. Debt. The debt that the NPP left for the NDC. 32.9, approximately 33 billion Ghana cedis in debt. End of year 2024, we left a debt of 33 billion Ghana cedis for the incoming government to come and service.
But when you inherit a government, you inherit the assets and liabilities of same.
For Alpha Cocoa Board, when you talk of Cocoa Board, the issues in Cocoa Board, it's even they have a negative equity. Cocoa Board, as we speak today, the NPP handed over a negative equity of 1.8 billion. Sorry, 2.9 billion, approximately 3 billion Ghana cedis as negative equity. When NDC was leaving power in 2016, end of year 2016, NDC left a positive equity of 1.8 billion for Cocoa Board. So the issue in Cocoa Board is an issue that we need to sit down, assess for it to be solved. And with all these things, with all this debt that the NDC government has inherited, prices in the international market has also dropped. So we must admit the fact that there is an issue that needs to be addressed. It's not deliberate for the NDC government to do that. This was a government that over the years, anytime it's in power, provide cocoa farmers with free fertilizers, and other chemicals to help them grow their cocoa. So the NDC government, the farmers know how the NDC government have been good to them. We have a rollover. As we speak, Cocoa Board has a rollover of about 3,500 tons contract rollovers that this government has to service.
I say rollover contracts in India. Government upon government, in fact, when the NDC was going, he had a rollover contract.
What was a rollover? The NDC government left a rollover less than 120 tons. 120,000 tons. And you left a rollover of 350,000 tons.
But Obi so be catch was say.
You left a debt. You left a debt of 33 billion Ghana cedis.
Ba office no now the rollover contract no existed. Now you know say Cocoa Board was in a negative equity. Now we name the amount of loans Cocoa Board that debt are never. Yes, still no, you decided to increase the cocoa prices to 3,600. So you knew all these things. Yes, still we are increment.
No, but that time what was the price of the cocoa in the international market?
It was about $7,000.
Good. It is clear. What was the price of the cocoa? Because if we know, yes, these are there, but does it directly affect the prices? What directly affects the price today is the price of the cocoa in the international market. It was about 7,000 then. Then it just makes sense that they were able to pay about 3,600. You understand? Because there's no way Cocoa Board would have to run at a loss. If they should run at a loss, it means that probably it will get to a stage where the company will become insolvent. And that is what they are trying everything possible to avoid. So I only plead that the cocoa farmer should understand what the NDC has inherited. We have inherited debts. We've inherited a negative equity. We've inherited 3,500 tons of rollover contracts. You understand? 2016, NDC left the NPP with a positive equity of 1.8. So please, we have to look at that. We had even an issue where the Cocoa Board, as at the time the NPP was in office, they kept buying juice sacks and not clearing them. It was stuck at the port. But every now and then they kept buying or procuring new amount of juice sacks. Before they left, end of year 2024, they bought about 80,000 juice sacks.
So the back and forth of this whole matter, cocoa farmer, and they said, Jack. In fact, to me, one year be a mawasi and monochrono. Odi a winye bi odi fire 3,100 now, but 2 years na yem peg dig ya. No, almost to me nyaka krantafle.
It is just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate that we inherited a Cocoa Board that was actually in a mess. Everything. I've given you the issues. Litany of issues. I've mentioned them from debt to contract and whatever.
But it is always said that
there's a need for a restructure.
It is always said that leaders are known in the times of adversity.
Yes, that's what they're facing it. They're facing it. Our leaders, Randiabe and all those people, Dr. Randiabe and his team are facing it. The government finance minister, they're facing it. As I speak to you, there's a new pricing mechanism that is being proposed. And it will be sent to Parliament. If it is accepted, we're going to have something like the pricing mechanism that we have with water and then light, whereby water
fuel.
And light. Yes,
when it goes up, it goes up. When it comes down, it drops.
Yes. So we're going to have something like that, so that anytime the price goes up in the international market, we know that automatically the price with the farmer will also go up with this percentage. If it drops, you as a farmer, you also know that it has dropped. You also come down.
Okay.
So that is what is being proposed. We are going to look at now. And then there's also a new funding model. A new funding model where we don't have to always. Sometimes in situations like this, you don't have to do what we call forward trading. But look at new funding. We don't have to do the syndicated loans and all those things to be able to fund the cocoa business. But we find a way of making sure there's funds available to run it.
Okay. James, what's it? The MPP is doing more politics when it comes to the cocoa prices than looking at the reality on the ground, what you managed and left behind. You should be charitable to the government when you know, say, we jai a rollover contract of about 333,000 tons. You less them with a negative equity. Stabilization fund. When the world market prices are falling, you should cry for the government and say, look, Yes, the world market price is down. Oh, why be? This is the way forward. James.
That's it. Me did this. We have just started with the conversation.
Yes.
My person me di in Tias from Kubema, cocoa farmers are ever Ghana nyina. Na masanso achia our Muslim brethren omo ye fasting.
Omo share and run.
Omo share and run.
Okay.
Tinyame mo omo ahone a omo betimi da ama Ghana, especially in these difficult times. Anso na me che MPP phone nyina free cratching chumbro till region bapim Ghana babia. Openyi ye wo bibia ye friend price lock. Me gidi say dodo no anim obi anso ennim a me pese atiefo nyina be hu say ye wo bibia ye friend price lock. Aban e wo say wo hwe na wo ye se ne be ya se atoranchem bi e ba enko cocoa farmer no so. You know, the government started buying this cocoa around 1939. It's about 87 years now. Cocoa price ain't so da. And the NDC need your mama buying there. Adia ba kupa ye de ye salute your money say there will be a nye bida and then no more. Enye no papa so a negative aspect. Government intermediary Emma the vulnerable cocoa farmer, excuse my diction, and that of the international buyers or the licensing buyers.
Yes.
And intermediary now it's like near Kano our dear Musa for better for worse. A koya you benefit and koye so tenaho na manage situation. And then idea intermediary biano enti say cocoa season no eba. The government of the day, you don't have to be taken away by the international market price. You have to do what we call hedging and buffers. The hedging means that ube use coin bi senia ebe ya ube lucky the price of cocoa. Say international market no rise ya ebia sa sika ni nyina de nko farmers no ho. The same way na a drop in so you will contain the situation like you being a power bank to electrical gadgets. Until you don't expose the farmer to price fluctuations. And then MPP, na omu ntia say omu ye did say the cocoa farmer was supposed to be paid 6,500 Obekaya 2024 election propaganda.
Yes.
Meanwhile, it was hedging and MPP and previous governments have always done it. For 87 years now, cocoa price in so that me did say Oma travel 100 years to 90 years same way as same be Oma down point because they didn't see that. Open ye as someone see that they already in the same year, we are talking about people's livelihood. Mama yenshe na yenka. Nia etoso yenura President Mahama eka say the cocoa farmers should sympathize with them because onom so a cocoa farmer. Now we do 50 acres. Me tie bibisa.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, that is right.
Openyi. Look. Ye can cocoa farmer me no kasa ino. Which na cocoa farm ho amaniti so ehwe cocoa tree no. Wo ni bibia wo babia biem say no mofra be ko school say abusia no be didi say dia na be bawo na wisha mu nyina wo kokonu ono ho asem na ye ka no why na betimi abonobo ahwe nyankopon ani mu aka say President John Mahama is ever going to depend on cocoa proceeds as a president. And she say ye ka omo a sebi asɛm ato wɔn a yɛhwɛ sɛ na yɛbɛgyegye wɔn wure a man nkɔfa wo deɛ mmoroso a wanya no mu na yɛ bia wahwɛ sɛ manya bia aboroso nti mɛyɛ ne den na yɛ bia wodi bibi kakra kɔgu cocoa farms mu a ɛyɛ wo secondary matter no man fa wo deɛ ɛmbɛ compare the poor farmer ɛba ne sa that is an issue of mockery ɛsɛ wodi wɔn ho fɛw abɛsi daakye hene yɛ bia yɛba ha yi na sɛ caller bi frɛ in sɛ oh daakye hene na nsɛn yi mo station no sound no asɛ ɛnyɛ right nti mo nhwɛ na mo nya hu bibi na daakye hene wo si o ɛyɛ mo ntena wɔn ɛsan sɛ yɛ kora no bia ne yɛtie na mo abusuafo nyinaa tie the same thing anaasɛ yɛba ha yi na sɛ ebia mo air condition no ɛnyɛ adwuma nti ebia yɛte a wɔhyew bi di yɛ na ɛsi oh daakye hene asɛ ɔhyew wɔ mu na daakye hene sɛ oh manage because minimum one ɛte ha that is a poor response or an irresponsible one nti saa asɛm no de akɔrɛ te sɛ ɛyɛ mockery bi na sɛbi yɛnwura president John Mahama ɔyɛ koko akuafo yi nti ɛne deɛ yɛnka ho asɛm koraa bɛsɛ wo sɛ president Mahama sɛ wado koko a ɛndeɛ he saw some prospect in it obi na yɛ ni bibi yi o ɛnti na wɔn sɛ the cocoa farmers we have in 50 years back are not the same farmers now.
Very well.
They be a minimum kasa you know obi atoto ne nyama yi ya ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkɔdo kuku nti de bi a nipa foforɔ do kuku deɛ nti na ɔmo dɔ they saw a good prospect in it nti sɛ president Mahama adɔ kuku a ebia njuma pa bi a nana do ayɛ nti minim da odi dɔ yɛ deɛ I don't know the year but ebia njuma pa nana do yɛ ana njuma pa kufuo yɛ ana njuma pa ebia tamos mpo ɛyɛ no and then ama wɔn hu say if you go into cocoa farming you will gain because nobody goes into a business to lose
yes
nti sɛ obi ayɛ bibi yɛ na ndɛ president Mahama ji wani ama wakodo bi a men sign because obi true ɛkɔhwɛ nkɔ a yɛn true no nkɔhwɛ wu ɛyɛ ade a ehia pa me pa cho me bra yi ɛkasa ɔka bibi fa global market ni a on kaka openyi mpanyifo na ebu baby say yade a abo aboa kokosachi a na te ko ho atutu no bo kwankwa de bi anka yasi
no
sebi and na NDC 4% ka bibi about global trend na me nim say NDC 4 ebe toli that line kura because me kai COVID-19 time na uka bibi about global trender NDC 4 NT kura they don't even give us the chance to delve around those areas because they feel say or they made the people to believe say every country's economy is autonomous external pressure be entimi influence and it's a check here cocoa and say by the first stage an appointer and now say stepper NDC for picky was to compare the price of cocoa in Ghana to that of Cote d'Ivoire. And I mean charge here Cote d'Ivoire for the and drop it because as we speak now they are selling their bag of cocoa for about 3,600. Then they were saying, oh, Cote d'Ivoire cry it was worse. The meanwhile cocoa na Ghana have na quality saying Cote d'Ivoire we have what we call premium cocoa. In terms of flavor and quality, we are far ahead of Cote d'Ivoire. That's that they produce it in larger quantity than us. But we have the quality. And yem pese omobeka bibi so much about the global trend because oma man kwan ama embra ye wa ban mu no they said hey we are at the helm of affairs. We should solve the situation instead of explaining ourselves. That was what they made us to believe. So we expect say they will solve the situation instead of omega say na global na you say and a global na you say and a global na you say when we want to go into that we will only bring data the very thing they did not allow President Bawumia the Vice President Bawumia to do.
But what would be your response to the issue? Say, look, you came to mismanage Cocoa Board.
Yeah.
You left us a death at Cocoa Board. You left out over certain about 333,000 rollover contractor. And was said the current regime, to me, solve that problem. What will be your response to that?
Opinion party also, oh yeah, economy, sir. I'm not an economist, but basic economy will tell you, say, before you can make any economic statement, mostly we have something we call all things being equal, or holding other factors constant. When you want to speak, you don't speak from Sena Minkano, from a space. You speak based on evidence. When you say rollover contract, any negative equity, since when have they known this? From opposition, they couldn't know it. Fine, they came into power, even though they were supposed to know, because there is nothing that is hidden in governance. You are not handed over. Power is not handed over to you before you know what is going on. And then we know what the rollover is right now. We know what the equity is right now. Even though I am in opposition. So you should have known better and not deceive the cocoa farmer. That is number one. You should know better and not deceive the cocoa farmer. That is number one. That's in here. Number two. When you are talking about increasing somebody's price, or what have you, you are going to hold on to your promise. Because it would have been fair, say, Ubetre the cocoa farmer say a banny and share Niamam, now MPP for your Niama ye dia. I want you to draw a line difference between promise and what I'm saying. Say a banny and share Niamam, now MPP for your Muniama ye dia. Your Bama must say. Rather than to say, yeah, they're bar, your Bama must say.
But if Okase me bar, I will give you 70% of the prices. Is it not going by that promise? Say as we speak, if you look at the prices in the market, the government is giving 70% to farmers.
Openly, the government never said they will give 70% to farmers. That was not the promise. The government only said that they are going to increase, that MPP is supposed to give them 70%. And that when they come, they are going to ensure that they are paid about 6,500. Let me delve further into this issue. NDC FOBA Abai Mudawe.
7 January 2025.
27th January 2025. Now the what is it? Cocoa equity. No, not saying. Was it not the alleged negative now? I'm not going to even fight any figures you will say. No, canon this out. Opening at some point, you realize it in January. Rollover, you realize it in January. What influenced or informed the price increase in January? In January, was the global price increased? Global price never increased in January 2025. It never increased. But promise now, and then I say, I almost about 2025, they increase it. And see, this one, they are just trying to play around figures. And yeah, now between 2025, January to December, there was, and the NDC for ACC farmers, because if the 70% is anything to go by, in Komuba 2025, MPP was giving less than 70%. The same economic factors the same global market price. Inti nanka from January 2025, they should have started giving the 6,500. That moment they should have started giving the 6,500. And see, look, all what they are doing is that they are taken by surprise. They never knew that prices of cocoa at the global market was going to fall. MPP saw it coming, but NDC never. When you say the MPP for Tana, do you say on MPP for fruit, NDC for fruit, they won't see it. No, that is one thing.
First, mommy.
NT, yes, sir, say NDC for they should rise up to the task. And what is the task here? Cocoa farmers, all what they need is an opinion. I say. What shall we young could be a ton cocoa last 2 months? Now they will cotton would no lose about 10,000. That is if you have 10 bags. Or lose about 100,000 if you have 100 bags. A year as if him until your serum. Cocoa too is not something we should play around in Ghana. We are the second largest producers of cocoa in the world.
But that's it. I also watch your notes. Until my mom kind of if you want to be read second topic.
So not all Kasano, he said a lot of things, but some of the things of kind clearly shows that his understanding about the issue not ever from. You see, we have mentioned to you, said there are other factors as of now that is crippling cocoa board. Because of these factors and the issues that which has to do with debt, negative equity, contract, any contract rollovers now they are demo. Whatever is happening in the international market today, the government and then cocoa board cannot absorb it. The government cannot absorb it because of these factors that are there as we speak. From debt, negative equity, all those things, it's affecting cocoa board directly. So ultimately absorbing the shock that it is facing in the international market. So if today they have reduced price of cocoa in the international market, now the cocoa board on internal issues now they are there cost now. Are you expecting them to increase cocoa? Are you expecting them to increase the cocoa price, the market, the first and the farm price? They cannot do that. Because you left a cocoa board that was on its knees, that was crippling. See, there's even no relationship. See, there's no relationship. Who can say me? There's no relationship between cocoa prices and the example you gave with COVID. There's no relationship here at all. This is something that you are going to sell directly, and there's no pandemic. Something that we are going to sell directly. So if the person is buying from you, says that because of ABCD, I'm buying it at this price. What is the relationship between that and COVID? It's a problem for me if you are saying that. Also, you also went ahead to say, Mahama or your farmer or your farm. See, 50 acres of cocoa farm. It's not a joke. 50 acres of cocoa farm. It's not a joke. So the president himself comes from a family where they are farmers. So you understand the plight of farmers. 50 acres of cocoa farm. That's what we are talking about here. So please, we are not just talking about 1 acre or 2 acre. So when the president says that he has been affected, you should understand exactly what he's saying. So please, let's get the issues right. Cocoa board itself, as an institution as we speak right now, is not on good footing. There's a need for total restructuring, and that is what Mandiabe and the government is trying to do. So if there's a reduction in the price of cocoa, it is because you left a cocoa board that was actually begging for help, that was facing a total meltdown. And based on this, the government cannot absorb the shock from the international market. If your government have done certain things right, in the cocoa board, today the government would have been able to absorb some of these things, and even maybe probably like you said, prices of cocoa will not be reduced. So it should tell you that your government, the previous NPP government, the 8 years that you managed cocoa board, you actually destroyed everything. You planned the institution into debt. You left a negative equity. You gave contract to people that were purchasing JUSACs, 80,000, 120,000 every year, 40 million, $80 million, and you were not clearing these JUSACs. So what was the interest? It is because you just want to be giving someone contract and be taking money.
Let's move to our second topic.
You think I shouldn't respond to?
Yes, you respond to that, but you respond and then you pick up the second topic and also so. Civil society group Election Watch Ghana has expressed disappointment in the decision by the Chief Justice not to establish a prima facie case in the petition seeking the removal of the leadership of the Electoral Commission. Blah blah blah. And GNRA. That statement went to the presidency has issued a statement on it. One of the things that now MPP for Namuta Kappa is is your my Chief Justice in India, the Electoral Commission, so Obeko. To the extent that some people even said that Charlie James and Angasano, Charlie on one uncle. And the Chief Justice said no prima facie case identified. In as much as some people feel that no, it is not right because certain constituency sat for 4 years without representation. It wasn't the fault of these people, but the Electoral Commission. It is a grave issue for which and by this time or see about in answer to power. But Chief Justice said no prima facie case was found.
Okay, Openi. May that say, before I'll go into such this thing. Maybe I'll make a quick response to Cynthia okay. The other aspect which seems a bit like attack the need them income or something because here he trying to say something say me understanding of way or form your own account. We did this a tier for we judge for themselves. But near me person me can say we are talking about 87 years downwards. Open you did this 87 years when you know prices of cocoa at the global market and tea soda.
Yes, all the time.
Ya tea cocoa akuafo so sika so dana.
David.
So what justification do you have to this? Is it you are playing politics or we are playing politics? Or can be say me be about COVID-19 because this one we are going to sell it directly. Someone is buying it. Open what is the difference in selling a product to someone and buying it from another person? What is the difference? Is it not the same transaction? If I was buying this mobile phone, $100 from what they say, America or China. Now say Abia at Renchen the production of mobile phones abe limited. Until now kanya omudima $1,000 and then abe $1,005. Now me kotoba Ghana Hana and me say there means to me the be kanwa. Is it not the same global thing we are talking about? So what is the difference? And I can say, answer na yankupon di problem bi be ma o CC one so there ma. And this time na COVID-19 by anka country bebo. They won't sit up. Because he himself mentioned that there is no even pandemic, which is supposed to be my position. Even because with even pandemic, you know, we didn't reduce the price of cocoa.
What was the price of cocoa then in the international market? What was the price of cocoa
You
in
understand?
the international market?
My name making point. My name making
What was the price of cocoa then? In the international market.
Let him make his point.
I could have interjected. I could have
If you look at the price, you are giving the
And I'm
70%.
saying, you do not have any moral or economic right to reduce the prices of this in a bag of cocoa, as no one has ever attempted it. You have done the undoable, and you should understand. Don't justify it. Probably if you are cocoa undobi because Ukrananka by this time Udobia, you would have stand in a better position. Until let's leave that. Opinion court Chief Justice.
Yes.
We now Odibetu home. One we say when we talk about prima facie, it's a lantern way, which means at a glance or at first sight. And in law, answer court be could be a prima facie case must be established. There is a usha, it deserves further investigation. But so usha said, as someone you bogua nature say, case no any substance be. NDC eba abainu. Hunting has been one of the major things they have championed. You say one kasa uka Chief Justice. Amra I almost sorry no so any nyama bibiri you know a free ho. Nti Jane man said we know we were not so surprised of its journey. But Nora we election watch Ghana. ADBB ever told about so. And what they came out was that they were disappointed in
the decision of the Chief Justice.
The decision of the Chief Justice. Until making kind, you know, I marveled. And I was confused. Why am I saying this? Why do people think that they know better than the law? NDC for by now ade ba ko omutaji na chi di ye omuniam omupanyi na ni say the law is the law. Obekaya. Omuye bibi kakra the law is the law. Enti say ebinumu a petition president. Now President Ajina Article 146 so I refer the case to the Chief Justice. Now Chief Justice awuramu now would the abetu just say oh nkromfuko ya munsi ye yi won no me share ye no evidence amude aba no is not substantial enough say ye beko asem no so then why should anyone be disappointed?
But when the people make the arguments,
Yes.
Look, this is an institution, a certain group of people.
Yeah.
In this case, Lolobi Akpafu
Yeah.
and its environs,
Yeah.
they lacked representation in Parliament for 4 good years.
Yeah.
It is a grounds. It is a constitutional grounds. You bet me, I can say, oh, the Nipa Weyaya dear. Ama this group of people, you know, they've lagged behind for 4 years. And on that, you know, anka yenyina so na anka yenfa yin free would then not be justified? And looking at the response of the Chief Justice when it comes to this Lolobi issue in particular, and this is what he says. Was it whilst the allegation reason, while the allegation raises serious constitutional and administrative questions, they did not affect the conduct to so grave. They did not affect their conduct so grave, meaning that there was a certain effect of conduct, but not that grave. When you are talking about the gravity of a conduct of a person, denying me representation for 4 years, how is this not grave?
Opinion. Sometimes let's know the difference between emotions. Let's know the difference between sentiment and law. Who is a petitioner? Or who is qualified to be a petitioner? Anyone who thinks something is not going right. It can be you. It could be me. A bit my mibra, a bit my ubia. So what I say? The Election Watch, they are civil society group. Are they restricted from being petitioners to a particular case?
Not at all.
As a civil group, which is Christian Election Watch, meaning they could even see further than you and I, because they have more interest in election-related matters than Mineo. So what I say? At what point did they realize, say, a same ye a serious sanction any serious attention. Omutana, because they are not the petitioners, are they? They are not the petitioners. And this assembly Koswa, let you and I establish the interest around the issue. It has to do with interest. And yes, Sadia, you could be petitioners. Into some me James Mahmoud, man fanko. Now that's in I don't know your full name. One fan koi obidia koi die. And brand bejina nipano evidence so.
Evidence on who they call, you know.
Yes. O check here baby omutro say they have not presented a strong evidence in the election watch release. So what I say, we have something in law we call prejudice. That is for you to have a preconceived mind about how a particular judgment should go. Something different from that, you feel so much disappointed. Until like if there is any case in the court, or if there is any case that merit automatic sanction, anytime there is an issue, a legal issue, let everybody come to stand at a neutral position. You and I, everybody must stand at a neutral position. Openi say China obi sorry wo so ewo adwuma mu ha. Na say o say e bia wanya wo niam ayiye. Anti e bia sebi brothers yenyi wadi. Na mpani 49 hwehwem no say wa so am ka fada chi hene ho. En wo say yeyi nadi. Na e bia na no wuti wuka mu ba ubo nsuo egu mami bi so ntino. Na mami no say oh man yi da chi hene. Na akwa no na no kro ubo nsuo gu me so. It doesn't augur. Because if this Chief Justice were to be the near NDCD by now, a Honanka in Sembe woman said, we couldn't remove the Chief Justice. Yes, Anka, same way, attention I was here, the same way, no, young farmer.
But the most make the argument says, you know, na NDC for no more person electoral commission. Until now, somebody can you Chief Justice in the first. Until we Chief Justice, somebody electoral commission, the end court. So the bear it. But we as a whether I'm one mamma. Dabi.
What is a Panda case? Panda rerun case. Obekaya. So some no call High Court.
Yes.
And now I judgment and said we should go and rerun. Then MPP we came out and spoke on legal terms. Yeah, who did they power? Do you know? Like I said, we call Supreme Court. The judgment could have been anything. The government of the day, the NDC and the John Mahama government, they just want to save themselves from some global kind of failure. Because Oman who said globally, never be oha omuya emfa. Obekai abronya mbra yedino court. Judgment na judge no epasi u check panda idea na nti no NDC for no ahunu say bebia omudi omuniama enam no if they continue like that a bit more is in brebia no when we project for them it happens nti I know this is just all the tananahwe enkwa you know you will see they just to save the government and the judiciary from some public lambast. Senior Ebeya, the public will have a little bit of faith in the judiciary. But later, me chira onyama ebesin and same way enti haya. Nti sen no abi e can say omu person mu yi Chief Justice. Now you can even remove the electoral commission chair without possibly removing the Chief Justice. Do you know that? We've done some before.
Send the then Crawford say no more say Chief Justice and Crawford say Chief Justice or MPP woman organizer. And you know money so the electoral commission command you will find no prima facie. And now more say no matter how no such Chief Justice no cause the bear. When there's a new Chief Justice, then the petition will find a favor before the Chief Justice.
That is what Intina Meka say. Yeah, the kind I am who did it. Once and see you or honor, Wa say bi wu ni ahonne no. Eya wo ye dede o. So what you say? Yeah, the kind aye hu dede.
No, okay.
We have speculated it and made loud noise over it. And Ghana ha nyina 80% even globally no. Obi anim say this is what the President John Mahama government are up for. So what I say? In order say they will add a bit of mystery. Then enye clear. That's why certain judgment, they temper it with some kind of should I say a human face, or they temper it in a way say you and I will feel a bit safe.
But is the law not the law? Are they not applying the law? Like the law was applied at the High Court when it came to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court saw otherwise of the law,
Yes.
and then decided to quash the decision of the High Court.
Yeah, so the law is like 6 and 9.
Depending on where you stand.
Depending on where you stand and how you present your case. And this mini papa yi enya ntokwa wa ha. You are here, you are right here. You see what has transpired. But my pass with judgment in my favor because NDC ni MPP ni assembly are definitely MPP ni no DNA. So you pass it in my favor. But say if you are different place. Now say somebody you will not be there. Now say the way I make come and some ma Woody bimdie no ema me no. Na man timi ankoka no no hwan a eku 10. Ntina in law no when a higher court quashes the judgment of a lower court, the judge or whoever is not sanctioned. Because they believe say the matter before the court is what we are looking at. And yes, I say when the judgment goes otherwise, it will higher a court. Nanka was say, you share the junior court to say if your judge is corrupt, and our judge but the person will still be opposed and continue to do his or her work. Intellectually say, Mbrebiano, my adwin, and ye say na was say same way echo. The MPP was the position we saw the president and the government, the position we saw them coming from. Until Emma hundede. Ye did say they didn't so can huntina or cover nyama be a best view of the public with the kakra. That's
Corner.
Okay, briefly, just about 30 seconds. We can clear this issue. Prices of cocoa, as today, the highest in the market is $3,200. The NDC government is giving farmers $2,500. That's 70% of the price. So the MPP should applaud the NDC for doing that. What this tells us is that if the prices of cocoa today should hit 10,000, the farmer will get like 7,000. That is what it means. So the farmer should pray that the price also goes up in the international market. Again, you are talking about the NDC doing the unprecedented or whatever when it comes to the prices of cocoa.
But is it not true that since the inception of cocoa buying,
yes, I'm coming.
There have never been a reduction of
I'm
price?
coming. So the reason why there has been a reduction this time round is because of how they mismanage the cocoa sector in their 8 years in office. You left the highest debt ever inherited by any government. That is 33 billion. Please, I'm coming. You left 33 billion Ghana cedis in debt. You left a negative equity that's never happened before. NDC left you a positive equity. Again, you were giving contract to people buying juicer. That way you were not clearing. You are still not getting the understanding. That alone amounted about $300 million. Where was those monies going? Who was chopping it? You left the government the highest rollover contract ever.
You made that point now.
No, I've made it known, but I'm trying to remind him of something. So these are the factors that is actually making it difficult for Cocoa Board to be in a standing to absorb this shock. You have done the unprecedented ever in terms of mismanagement of Cocoa Board. So you don't have the right to even talk about it. So just keep quiet and want the NDC government to restructure the Cocoa Board. When it comes to issues of madam,
EC
chair. You see, it is clear that prima facie case, they have to look at it to ensure that if there's evidence is clear. If there's any evidence, fine, they establish a prima facie case and then the process continues. In this case, there's no prima facie case. For me, I don't know where the NPP stands, but I just think there's a matter of evidence. Another person can send a different petition if the person thinks that there's a need for that. And if the person is able to establish his evidence well, is able to prove his evidence, and then a prima facie case is established, that one, it can still continue. So for me, you see, NPP, their understanding of three arms of government, because of how the political mindset they have in terms of the arms of government, they don't even have the belief that these three arms of government are independent of each other. So they think that the executive can just interfere in whatever. President Mahama in his administration will not interfere in any process. He wouldn't do that. That is why today we are seeing the judgment that we are seeing. Unlike your time, when you decided to interfere in the process and ensure that Charles Osei was changed just because you think that it was Mahama that put him there. But President Mahama doesn't care. He doesn't have that interest. He doesn't have any interest in this case. He has led the judiciary to do it independent work, the Chief Justice to do independent work. Came out with what the result is, came out with what his judgment is on the case. So the NPP should understand that this NDC government, the NDC government understands and appreciates that these three arms of government, they should be independent of each other. The constitution clearly states it. So we don't have an interest in whoever becomes the next EC chair. If she's there till 70 years, she retires, it's fine.
But the party chairman Akase, look, or say Juma Obo Padia and Cornell President and Kokokura.
No, you see, what the party chairman was trying to say is that fine, the party chairman is not okay with the work of the Electoral Commission. That is his view. He wasn't speaking for the whole party. A lot of personally have an issue with some of the things that she did. Because how can you tell her that you are using Quora draw to calculate election results? These were issues that people raised. But the case is that what I'm trying to let you understand is that the fact that the NDC people, NDC executives, national executives or branch executives have raised concern about the work of the Electoral Commissioner doesn't automatically mean that the president has to change him or probably use any other means to take him off. Don't forget that the president can appoint the Electoral Commissioner, but the president doesn't have the right to sack the Electoral Commissioner unless there's a petition. We know the process. You understand? So, whatever the case may be, someone or we must be able to prove our case well. But in that regard, there shouldn't be any political hand in it. So that when one day another petition comes, and with that one there's a prima facie case established against her, nobody should stand anywhere, sit anywhere, and make a claim that it is political. No. We all have our views about the Electoral Commission. Even NPP themselves, some of NPP executives, national executives, have raised concern about the Electoral Commission.
So, what will be your response to Nkrofo Mokase? And here means that we can be a small screen sort of first one here, the praprim. They are just where they be in Ebia by the close of this year. No, yes, I didn't know Francois Abba. No, I find it favor before the Chief Justice and we are found the year.
So, what I'm making a point, say, anybody at all today can send a petition if the person thinks that he has a good case to present. So for the petition, even if you present another petition and they go through and they realize that there's no prima facie case, another person can present a petition. It is allowed. So whoever decides to present a petition tomorrow, if there's a prima facie case established in it, fine. So there's no political hand in. That's what I want you to understand. If there should be any political hand in it, I don't think that she will still be there. So Moki can say it is just a strategy to cover up or do whatever. They should get an understanding that these are issues that needs evidence. You need evidence to establish it. So if I have an issue with how the electoral commissioner is doing her work, it doesn't automatically amount to a case where she has to be fired. You understand? Because all her views, even ministers that are appointed today, people have issues with some of the ministers, how they do their work. It doesn't automatically mean that that person has to be fired. Do you have any evidence? No, you have not presented evidence. So until that evidence is properly established, without any doubt, then we can proceed and say that should be changed or whatever. The president will now make the decision to fire her. So you see, the understanding of the NPP that the NDC is so much interested in changing this electoral commissioner is not true. We have put in place a robust electoral system that collates our results. There is no way no electoral commissioner can rig our elections. Fine, election is a process. I'm coming. Election is a process. Until the events that happens gradually to the elections, will have concerns, will raise concerns. If we think the electoral commission is doing something that is not right, has to do with register or whatever, we'll continue to raise concerns. But as these concerns are raised, whether you are getting the desired results you want or not, you have to be able to establish a robust electoral system within your party that will be able to collate your results for you.
That automatically means 2020 really there was no issue.
No.
You couldn't collate your results. It is the reason why you went to court.
You see, no. The fact that you go to court doesn't mean, the fact that I'm saying, you have to be able to the question is, were we able to collate our results well then? We had issues. The party admitted it. Internally, we had issues, which we admitted. And then along the line, we addressed those issues. And you saw how we were able to collate our results in the 2024 elections. Do you understand? Even though, yes, the elections, we saw things that happened. Some of the things that happened were not even directly related to the electoral commissioner. Because if military, people in military uniform enter a collation center, start firing gun upon the directive of the presidency, enter a collation center, start firing gun, changing a collation sheet, killing people, that has something to do with the electoral commissioner. It was then the executive arm of government, the president, Akufo-Addo, and the NPP then, who were masterminding these things. So it's not everything that happened in terms of rigging, that was related to the electoral commissioner. Because I would do two rabbi binas or pam conference some collation sheets now. Some of these things, the electoral commissioner then didn't have direct access to some of these things. So the understanding should be there. But should I make So what I'm trying to say is that going forward, like my brother has said, anybody at all can present another case, but all depend on how you're able to prove it. If you prove it well and the Chief Justice establish a prima facie case, we move forward. But let it be established that John Mahama and the NDC government this time, and as it has always been, we do not have an interest in who becomes the next electoral commissioner. We allow the arms of government to do their work independently. We will not interfere in anything of the judiciary. So what the NPP are saying, the NDC are just pretending to make sure that the next time they'll bring another person, they'll bring another petition, and then they'll take care of. It is neither here nor there.
Not there.
We don't believe in that.
May I say?